Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Libra, Sun, Moon or Rising. It's the weekly reading for the week of July 22nd to the 28th. And your cards this week, Libra, energies leaving, completing or transitioning. You have the Six of Swords. Focus energies this week. Extremely strong completion energy here, Libra, under the 10 of Wands and the universe energies. You have, coming in towards the end of the week, the Four of Pentacles with a few other cards behind there to tell the rest of the story. So Libra, I was just thinking as I was pulling your cards, no major arcana here, maybe this is just a little blip. And then I just literally had to touch the cards for the clarifier, and the universe came out here, which is equivalent to the world in the Rider Tarot deck. So in my opinion, one of the strongest cards in the tarot, because it really is the pinnacle. It is the end point. So let's unpack this. We have some strong completion energy here, Libra. Recent past, Six of Swords, right? This is you moving on from something, or wanting to move on from something. You may not quite have completed it yet. So the Six of Swords is about making a necessary rite of passage is the traditional meaning, which really means, moving on from something, although you may not want to, although it might be painful for you to do that, although you might have to leave something behind, you might have to go through a sense of, hurt or loss or grief in order to make this transition. It really is necessary for you to do so. It's necessary because it's probably been holding you back in some way. So it might have been holding an energetic space that has stopped other opportunities coming in for you, whether that's in love or career, even making moves in your life, like traveling and finding a place to call home. You might not be living in a place at the moment that feels like that for you, because the Six of Swords can indicate travel as well. Either way, the situation that you're transitioning from really did have an impact on your emotional state. It's probably made you feel unbalanced, and there's been emotional turmoil, right? You can see that here by the choppy waters in the foreground. So really what you need to do is to take that rite of passage to sail into a calmer situation, a situation that's going to be more serene for you, more peaceful, right? And when we're in a state of peace, that's when other great opportunities can come our way. And under that number 6 energy, I think there's a lot of growth, a lot of personal growth in this for you, and moving towards this more harmonious place. Now, the reminder with the Six of Swords is, if you can, take as little from the past with you as you make this journey. You can see in the boat here, this lady and her child who are almost in a bit of a state of mourning or grieving, because it's not easy to move on. But she's taking these 6 swords in the boat with her, and this is like the emotional baggage, or it's a sword suit, so it could be thoughts, intellectual thoughts tied to the situation. She's packed all that in the boat with her, and she's taking it with her. If you can, try and leave the past in the past. Try and just carry on with a light load, because that's the best place to transition into a future that's much more that's really you're going to be ready to seek new things, because you have a blank slate, basically. This week for you here, Libra, just the strongest of completion energy here under the 10 of Wands and the universe. The 10 of Wands, it's about carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, or even the weight of the universe on your shoulders. I really think that's been that heavy for you. It's clouded your vision. If you can see here, this person is carrying so many wands, so much burden, responsibility, tasks, heavy thoughts, that kind of thing, that it's actually clouding his vision of the way home. The way home, that can be finding your place in life, finding your fulfillment, finding those opportunities that feel like home to you, that feel like your sanctuary. If he could just put down those wands, he'd realize, oh, he's actually so close. All he needed to do was put down the wands to let go of the things that were burdening him. But sometimes we get stuck, right? We get stuck carrying them. And sometimes we get stuck carrying them because we need to carry them for a while, because there's no one else to help us with that load. You know, it could be you in a relationship where, you know, your partner leaves all the childcare to you or isn't able to contribute in that way, and you've had to carry the wands. It could be the fact that you're the one that's responsible for finances at the moment, or you're a single parent, or you're living alone, and you have to carry the wands. There's no one else that's going to carry those wands for you. But what this energy says as it completes is that there is a better way coming for you. There is an easier option, and potentially in your next chapter, that's what's going to open up for you. I think you've been tentatively heading in the right direction, but it's been really hard work. You know, it's just been a one foot in front of the other, living week to week until you can really get some relief from the situation. But under number 10, you know, we see that wanting to complete. And then, you know, just the strongest omen of completion of the tarot, the universe, which is the world energy in the Rider Tarot deck, the last card of the tarot deck, the last card that says that what the magician, which is card number 1, set out to manifest or materialize in the world through his intention is ready to complete. It also is a strong card of karmic completion, of achieving a life lesson. So it's likely that within this situation, you know, there was something that you needed to learn. There was some personal growth that had to be had out of it. But now that that has happened, it is time to release from that situation. And the key message here, Libra, is that when something's ready to complete, we must allow that to happen, because if we keep carrying the load beyond that point, that's when things can go a little bit askew. Like, that's when things like, you know, fatigue can set in. That's when, you know, we can become stuck. We can even get depressed in our lives, you know, because we know that it's not aligning with us anymore. So if we can, we need to let this complete this week. And with the universe card, you know, it's that reminder that when we do complete one life lesson, there's another one, you know, a sliding door that opens up to us, and we step directly into our next chapter. It's a seamless transition. That's how life is. You know, as we work through our karmic checklist of what we came here to achieve in the first place. Coming in towards the end of the week, we have a little triple whammy here. The 4 of Pentacles, the 5 of Pentacles, and the 2 of Swords. Yep. So there's a decision that needs to be made here, Libra, of course. Of course, there's going to be a decision that needs to be made. You know, how are you going to allow this to complete? What's required for you to complete this situation? What or who do you need to let go or walk away from? And what is going to be the process of allowing that to happen? You know, it might not be easy. You might be living in the same house as someone that you need to move on from. You might be tied up with them financially. You know, it could be, if it's a job situation, you may need to find something else before you can actually take that decision. But it's a decision that it won't weigh lightly on you, Libra. You know, it's a decision of the heart. Maybe you even need to protect yourself emotionally as you make this decision. But just make sure that you're making the decision from your intuitive place, you know, through vision. Don't feel blinded by it. See it for what it is and see the truth. Because the present situation, definitely, you know, it wasn't serving you, and it does need to complete. I think with that 4 of Pentacles energy, you may feel like it's a little bit hard to get out of, and maybe for some of you, you might want to keep holding on. And, you know, we really do need to release ourselves from that energy. The 4 of Pentacles can also talk about, you know, that clinging to the past can devalue the future, right? So we really want to release the past. We want to put down those wands, because this is the feeling that we get when we stay in something too long, or that we cling to the past. You know, we start to we start to blind ourselves and blind ourselves for making the right decisions for ourselves. You know, you can see that this couple here, I mean, they can't see the forest for the trees. They can't see, you know, their face despite their nose. You know, they're out in the cold, no shoes. Well, he's got socks on. You know, probably no food and without a bed for the night. But right behind them is this beautiful sanctuary. But they don't see it. They don't see it because they're too busy focusing on their own misery, holding on to the past, thinking about all the things that actually got them in this situation in the first place, without thinking about solutions and without thinking about how can I just get myself out of this. But it is a strongly time for completion and time for change for you, Libra. It is time to restore your sense of self-worth, your sense of value. It's time to put down the wands and, you know, the universe, destiny, karma, divine guidance, God, whatever you want to call it. That force wants that for you as well, and that's why this card is here. Okay, Libra, we'll leave it there. It's a strong message for you, strong completion energy. I really hope you decide to go with that rather than keeping on pushing. Keep in mind it is a general reading. It won't necessarily resonate for every Libra out there. It will for some, and this one's for you. And I'll be back here next week for another reading. See you then.